What's up, guys? Welcome back to Simply FPL. Time to have a quick look at my Game Week 28 team reveal. Now, one thing I will say, and it's probably, most of you probably noticed this is going to be the last full game week till April, basically. So, yeah, make the most of this weekend because it's going to be fairly quiet for the next, three and a half weeks. So, yeah, we won't have a huge amount of videos up on the channel during that time. I don't particularly want to just put videos up for the sake of it. So, yeah, let's make the most of this while we've got it. Looking at the team then. So, I think it's going to be a difficult week for me. A good few players, they might not play. Some players playing hard teams. Other players, not playing very well. Bit of a mess. But I'm still going to roll my transfer, barring some sort of injury or a last-minute piece of news that kind of means that a specific player won't play. But allow me to regroup in Game Week 29 because I'm probably going to bring in a Brighton defender and also Gareth Bale. But I don't want to bring in either of them this week because I'm thinking of getting rid of Cancelo for the Brighton defender. Take some money off my out of my squad, out of my defence, and allow me to put it in the midfield. But also, I want to reduce down to 2 City players. They've obviously got 2 blanks coming up in the next few weeks. And I just don't think they're going to be as essential over the next month, basically. And Gareth Bale, I don't want to treble up on Spurs players when I'm probably going to captain a Spurs player. Because let's say Arsenal set up from the back and, I don't know, win 1-0 or have a 0-0. Having 3 Spurs attackers with one of them being a captain, that could be a huge problem for my overall rank. So, 105.1 million squad value, 0.8 million in the bank. Squad value doesn't really matter once you get to this stage in the season. Bringing the right players in for the right times, regardless of costs, is much more important because obviously once we get to game week 38, it doesn't matter if your squad value is 120 million or 95 million, it's all going to get reset. So, yeah, that's the state of play, and that's why we've not really made any transfers. So, starting at the back, Martinez. It's sad to say, but I'm going to get rid of him in the next couple of game weeks. So once we finish game week 29, the floodgates are going to open for my Villa players. They've got arguably the worst fixtures kind of coming up. I'm going to use my free hit in game week 33 when they've got an okay fixture anyway. And yeah, I just don't see them getting a huge amount of points following the blank game week. So Martinez hopefully can go out of a bang. Newcastle, good fixture to go with. Martinez obviously playing well. Villa not so much. But Newcastle aren't exactly pinging in goals recently. So yeah, we'd be hopeful of getting something there. Martinez, he's actually on for to break the goalkeeping record for points in the season. I think he only needs to average 3 points per game to break Brad Friedel's previous record. I think it was something just under 4 points a game to break Sergio Aguero's record. So that was quite an interesting read over on Twitter there the other day that Martinez could outscore Sergio Aguero's best ever season. But that kind of just proves what good value he's been this year. At the back then, Cancelo and Diaz. We don't know who's going to be rested tonight against Southampton. There's rumours that both of them could be rested. I've heard that Cancelo, strong rumours he'll be rested. I hope not because I've captained him. But also Diaz was not heavily involved in training, was more kind of helping out with the management side of things in training, kind of giving directions, which again would assume that maybe he's going to be rested. So yeah, hopefully they play. But as of next week, we're going to be getting rid of Cancelo anyway. And if they obviously both do play, Fulham have looked okay recently, but it's still a fixture you'd expect Man City to be able to keep a clean sheet. Although their clean sheets they've let in a few goals recently, so again, not as nailed on as they were maybe a month or so ago. Luca Digne then. So I said it over on Twitter there about after the Chelsea game, but I don't think people realise how bad Everton have been in 2021. So in my opinion, and I've watched every game, we've only played well against Liverpool. Every other game in 2021, we've played poorly. We've scraped a load of 1-0 wins. Wins where we just weren't playing very well. We've had some awful results against teams like Newcastle. We've lost a couple of games actually in 2021. So Yeah, we're drastically overperforming as well. So again, check it out on Twitter. But there's an XG points table, and Everton, they should be around Sheffield United spot. Certainly a lot lower than teams like Brighton, for instance. So we're drastically overperforming. And look, I'm going to keep Luca Digne for the time being because I'm still favouring the fixtures. But there's going to be a point where I'm going to swap him, probably for a Rudiger or an Aspilicueta. One of those lads, even maybe a West Ham defender. So yeah, his time in my team could be numbered as well. Moving on to the midfield. There they are, the star four. Now the star four that could all blank, all get loads of points. So Gundogan, a couple of blanks recently. He's kind of in there as the budget. Him and Jota are kind of my enablers now for the rest of the season. Their value is not going to be argued. If they get the games they should get, they're going to get enough points to justify their £6.5–7 million valuation. And it will allow me obviously to keep the likes of Harry Kane, have the Son, get the Gareth Bale in. But yeah, it's tricky week by week because you just don't know who's going to get the points. We're assuming Kevin De Bruyne's going to be back on penalties, but we've got no proof of that. But Gundogan still gets really far forward. Fulham are actually a team that have been coming on to a lot of teams recently, so there's a good chance he'll get a lot of space. So yeah, we are hopeful we'll get something from that game. But we're certainly not thinking of getting rid of him anyway. Mo Salah, like the big decision this week for me was, do I keep him against Wolves or do I drop him for Gareth Bale? I'm going to do it next game week if I don't decide last minute to swap it. But my thinking now is the risks are Salah might get a rest. We saw Mane and Firmino get the rest there in the last game. So there is that chance. As well as that, obviously, they're not playing very well. Wolves have kept a few clean sheets recently. So yeah, I'm not 100% decided. My only worry is I just don't want to have... It feels like a huge risk to have Son, Bale and Kane against Arsenal. But then there's other things telling me that actually the risk isn't as bad. So can Gareth Bale outscore Mo Salah? I mean, he definitely can, right? So yeah, I might pull the trigger on that. I've not decided. But for the time being, this will be his last game in my team, regardless of how well he does against Wolves. Son then. So it's interesting because since Gareth Bale started playing the last 3 games, Son has just been pushed right out. Same as Harry Kane. They're both almost playing wingers at this stage. So Son's got a good few assists, but he's not really involved in the goal chances too much. So for his value, we're probably going to keep him for the rest of the season. I do actually think it's a good game getting Arsenal for Tottenham. Tottenham are off the back of 3 quick-fire wins. Like, they're playing quite well, in my opinion. All to play for, trying to get into that top 4. And Arsenal, they've just capitulated. Like, their season, they're focusing on the Europa League. They not really hiding that either, resting a lot of players kind of in the last few games for their Premier League games. So yeah, maybe it is worth trebling up on the on the Spurs forwards. Yeah, maybe put in the comments what you think about that. It's something I'm really considering doing. The one thing I'm going to do, which I have mentioned on Twitter, is I'm going to try and replace a lot of my like poor performing, high owned players and try and focus on a differential team. Main reason for that is the differential seems to be doing quite well the last month or two, but also personally, some of my mini leagues, like as much as I want to come first in FPL overall, now I'm 110,000, so I'm a long way away from that. But I've got a few big bets on this year, like we're talking thousands of euros, so I'm winning some mini leagues by a country mile. But then there's one of my bigger mini leagues, I'm second by about 25 points. And I really want to just push on to try and catch the guy at the top. So I'm kind of making moves that they're for myself rather than what I'd necessarily recommend for the average person. I'm kind of gambling a little bit. So by replacing some of these players, the Brunos, the Salahs, the Cancelos, it's really, again, part and parcel with trying to gamble to really try and go up in the ranks. And if it works, you look like a genius. If it doesn't, you don't. So, but that's short. Again, it's more fun playing FPL this way for me. Finally, Jota. Same as Gundogan. Like, I have them as like in the same basket. Whereas, like, for their minutes, they're gonna score enough points. So, will Jota play against Wolves? I'm not sure. Will he score? I'm not sure. But we're kind of playing the odds here. Like, if Jota plays 90 minutes each game, there's a good chance that he becomes really good value for his £6.7 million price. So, look, he played the last game. He didn't get any points, but again, we can't really be result orientated. So, yeah, he played, and that was all I could hope for, really. And then the 3 up front, we've not changed. We're actually using the same formation as the last week. First of all, offside Watkins. Again, like, we really appreciate that we placed a bet on Aston Villa last week to get 2 or more offsides in the game, and Ollie Watkins helped nail that after 40 minutes. So we might put another bet on it this week. Watkins has produced a lot more offsides than he has attacking returns this season. So yeah, that's what we'll be keeping an eye out of. In terms of actual attacking returns, will he get any? Who knows? He scored quite a few goals this season, but they've been in a couple of games. Like, he's got the hat trick, the doubles. He's not a consistent goal a week performer. So for his value, it's been an okay punt for me. I didn't have him for a lot of his big scores, but yeah, when I get rid of him, I definitely won't be getting him back. I'd imagine it'll be the last time he appears on the channel. But we do appreciate all the comedy content we've got about the offsides. Harry Kane. Going to be captaining him again. I just think, and I know I've said it, I feel Arsenal is a good game for Tottenham. Again, cue the Arsenal drawing 0-0, winning 1-0, and the YouTube comments going wild. But yeah, for me, I just think if you don't have Bruno Fernandes, there's not an obvious captain choice this week. And even I don't even think Bruno Fernandes is an obvious captain choice, because West Ham are playing really well. So yeah, I feel I could be seeing a trick that a lot of people are missing by captaining Kane this week. So, yeah, I'm happy enough with that. Hopefully he gets some points. And Patrick Bamford. So, this is the most frustrating thing, is where I've said for about 25 game weeks that I don't rate Patrick Bamford. I'm not getting him in. And every week he gets points, and I just suffer because of my pure stubbornness. I bring him into the team a few game weeks ago, and he's done naff all. I mean, that's so ironic, right? So, yeah, I'll keep him in because pushing to the end of the season, I can always bench him for some games, but Leeds do have some good games coming up. But a home to Chelsea is probably not one of them. So can Leeds score? Yeah. Will they? I don't know. But that's the team. It's going to be a tricky one. All those players could all blank. Like, this really is a tough game week for me. And my bench is not looking too great. We've got Dallas against Chelsea, Loughton against Everton, and Grealish probably injured. I'll bring Grealish in for Bamford if he's if he's fit to play, but I don't think we're going to get news on that. So that is the team. I've got a fun video idea for one I'm going to put up tomorrow, which is a little different, but apart from that, we might have a live stream on Friday. We might not. We'll see what mood I'm in for that. It'll obviously have to be earlier because the Newcastle Villa game's on. But yeah, drop in the comments how you're getting on, what your opinions are, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video.